Hello everyone, I'm Lady Calamir, and I welcome you to my channel. Hope everyone is doing great. I am doing my 276 presentation, and it will be on Mimir. Mimir is how he's pronounced, emphasis on the first syllable and the vowel, Mimir. So Mimir is the most wisest of them all in Norse mythology. He's extremely wise, extremely coveted. Now, there is debate whether he is an Aesir or Jotnir, but it seems to be more of Jotun, of where he was located, where that he is the uncle of Odin. And it says in the source literature that the sons of Mimir will wreak havoc during Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods. And so that would make him Jotun stock. His well was to be found at the base of Yggdrasil. And in order to get to the well, Odin had to travel through Jotunheim. A perilous journey for an Aesir. His well is at the roots of Yggdrasil, in which his well also feeds the tree, the Yggdrasil tree. Now it's the debate whether is it water in the well or mead. Whoever drinks from this well gains knowledge and wisdom. Great knowledge and wisdom. Well, how did Mimir get so wise? Well, he drinks from the well every day. Interesting enough, what he drinks with is the Gahala horn, which is the same horn that Heimdall will blow at the beginning of Ragnarok. Now, did Snorri Sturluson mess up with this? Or did he make things up? Or did he not understand the myths and didn't understand how to write them? How would Heimdall get that horn? And how does it belong to Heimdall when Mimir has the Gahala horn and drinks from it? And that when Odin is allowed to finally drink after his sacrifice, which we'll talk, uses that same horn that Heimdall is supposedly supposed to blow on. That big, loud horn that goes through all the worlds. How? Just food for thought. Was Mimir originally just a head? No, he was not. We'll get into how he was decapitated and how his head was preserved so that it lives on to this day. Mimir means to recall, the rememberer. That's what his name means. Mimir. Basically, where he lives is Mimi's Brunner. Mimi's Brunner. That's basically where his head is at. Now, we see this card, and I want to give credit where credit is due. Ha. This is the Hangman from The Giant's Tarot by Raven Caldera. And it's different artists that has contribute to this. So and I'll just read a little bit from it. In this card, Mimir floats in the darkness among his collection of severed skulls, lit only by Odin's glowing eye. The Hangman card indicates sacrifice, willing or unwilling, and a period of waiting suspended with no apparent end in sight. Patience is the order of the day. There will be no rushing the situation. If a sacrifice is required to move things along, it must be offered with a whole heart, no matter what the inconvenience. Reversed, it means that the period of waiting is over. This period warns against sacrificing oneself for an unworthy cause. So, the eye of Odin is preserved. Let me put this back. Sorry. In Mimir's well. It is also said that after Odin hung himself from the tree to attain more knowledge and wisdom, where he got the wisdom of the runes from, it was Mimir offer him a drink of mead to revive him. So that's one of the other stories. Mimir is also a water spirit. So his element is water. So when Odin makes the perilous journey to get to Mimir, he tells Mimir what he wants. And Mimir said, okay. Yeah. No. And he says, but I am your nephew. Still no. So Odin and Mimir struck a deal. Mimir said, what would you give me that would be worthy of a drink from this well? Odin thought for a second. And he plucked out his eye with his knife. He gouged out his eye and threw it into the well. Oh, hi. Hey, Loki, what's up? It looks like there's going to be a fight between Loki and Joker. So he plucks out his eye, throws it into the well. And Mimir said, you may drink from my well. He gives Odin the Valhalla horn, filled with his liquid, whether it be water or mead. And Odin drinks from it. Odin, pretty much instantaneously, gains the wisdom he has been seeking for. And the wisdom was also about how to preserve the world. How to preserve the world so it will not go into utter chaos and destruction, and to help prevent Ragnarok. Odin was now born properly, reborn properly. He's been reborn, blessed by the draught of knowledge he drank from the well. For now he sees better with one eye than he did with two. He has more understanding, more wisdom, and how to rule as a better god. and how to solve different issues and problems when need be. He has attained the wisdom of Mimir. And his eye is preserved in the well. His eye is that of a light in the well of Mimir. How did Mimir become just a head? After the great war between the Vanir tribe and the Aesir tribe of gods, a bargain was struck. A parley was made. Honir and Mimir were given to the Vanir. And the Vanir also gave them their best. They gave Frey, Freya, and Njord. Honir was a gallant-looking god of the Aesir. And he was tall and beautiful looking and very king-like, royal-like. And Mimir, the wisest of them all. So it came to be that Honir gave great advice, but only when Mimir was there to whisper in his ear. When Mimir was not there, and there was issues and problems and discussions and debates, they would ask Honir for advice. And Honir said, let others decide. Always said to let others decide when Mimir was not around. The Vanir were angry because they gave them 3 of their best and they got 2, and only 1 was intelligent. The other one was a buffoon. Only the gods and goddesses know why they beheaded Mimir and kept his body. Why not behead Honir and keep Mimir, right? But they beheaded Mimir and sent Honir with the severed head. This almost caused the war to reignite. It almost caused a great war. But it was, stopped before it would get out of hand. So anyways, Odin saw the head and he was very concerned. He knew the wisdom of herbs, so he would use the herbs to preserve the head. And he chanted and sang and did runes and spells. And the head came back alive, and he kept the head. And to this day, Odin uses the Mimir for wisdom and advice. He talks to him. Mimir is wise beyond anything. That one can imagine. He is an oracular head. He knows oracles. He's an oracular god. He is a font of wisdom, and he can be accessed through shamanic travel, astral traveling, even through dreams, visualization, journeys, and guided meditations. What would you sacrifice for wisdom? Would you sacrifice what no longer serves you? What would you sacrifice? Would you sacrifice your time? Would you sacrifice some money? Would you sacrifice being at home, sacrifice maybe some video game playing or TV to learn? What would you do to learn, to know, to grow, and to be knowledgeable. Mimir is pretty much the Stephen Hawking, the Albert Einstein. Dr. Michio Kaku of the gods. He is the god that can give great advice, or the Jotun that can give great advice in time of need, in time of distress, in time of panic. He can guide you right and guide you on your path. So, his domain is that of wisdom. His is that of knowing. Mimir is Besla's brother. And that makes him the uncle of Odin. There is a myth that said that Mimir stood for such a long time, holding up this mountain over the sacred spring that is also the root of the Yggdrasil, which also feeds the trees, and the forest that grew on his back. So there's one story of that. So, also, Mimir has to really like you to really talk to you. And back in the 90s, I was with this group, and we did a guided meditation to Mimir. And it was my first encounter with them. And this was early 90s. 1990s. Yes, I'm old. He's a good counselor. He's like a good therapist, too. He can get your head on right. And he'll call out BS when there's BS. Now, oh, sorry. So, when we look at Mimir, we now see him in, the, what's that called? New video game in which the myths have been played with, and that Mimir is being punished by Odin and forced into a tree where he's tortured every day. That's not part of the myth. I forgot what it's called. It's with Kratos. I don't play video games. But it's very popular, and it showed Mimir with horns on his head. I actually love this depiction of Mimir. So, Like I said, once Odin hung from the tree for 9 days and 9 nights on the world tree. Mimir revived him with a drink. Anyways, as you can see, there are sacrifices here. And really, cats? Really? Anyways, what can I say about this god that y'all don't already know? Mimir represents the mind. He represents conscious thoughts and wisdom. Wisdom is different from knowledge. Wisdom is applied knowledge and understanding of what you learn. Mimir is comprehension. Mimir is a brain that is alive with useful thoughts. When you have trouble concentrating, when you have trouble learning something, Odin learned from Mimir as well. You can also learn from Mimir and ask him for advice. Odin sacrificed for wisdom, but also to preserve the world. Which is pretty cool. So, whew, he guards his well and he guards his well good. So, in another myth, it was Mimir who taught the hero Siegfried his craft. And Siegfried, in one of the stories, is a heroic, from a figure from heroic literature from the ancient Germanic people. So it was Mimir that helped him. So that's another story about him. And Siegfried, it fights with a dragon, and he acquires treasures. And these two stories were actually combined into one of the poetic Edda from Germanic literature. Well, in Germanic literature, I should say, in Germanic literature, it was kept separate, so. Everyone likes to fuck with the stories and shit. One of the things that you can do to build an altar is you can put an image of a well or even a cauldron, and you can fill it with water or with mead. He does like mead. Mimir does enjoy a drink of mead. And he does enjoy a drink of water. He likes things of wisdom. Is Mimir approachable? He can very well be approachable. One can put a drinking horn there too to represent him. Now, if you're going to drink from it, I would put it in something that is safe to drink from and not cause you any harm. Mimir likes things of literature, things like science. So you could put like books on science, and he knows things of metaphysics. You can put your oracle cards. You can consult with him when doing oracle or tarot, because he'll help you. So, what else is there to really talk about this god, this giant? And there's not a lot. There really isn't a whole lot that is known about him, or things that have been lost about him. But pretty much what I told you here is pretty much consistent. Well, anyways, I do hope you enjoyed this presentation. I know it was pretty short, but I wanted to get to the point. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and let me again show you The Giant's Tarot by Raven Caldera. You can buy it from Asphodel Press. That's the place where I can only find it. It can't be found on Amazon anymore. At one time it was. I think. I know some of his stuff is on Amazon, Raven Caldera, but you're going to have to buy it for him, through him. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. You're totally awesome. Now, I don't have a Patreon account. So in return, please wish me good luck, health, and happiness. Same thing for my cats. Do some spells in return from this. Don't drink and drive, because you'll have a DWI or DUI. I know someone that happened that too, and they're still on probation. And don't drink and drive. It's not cool. You can kill yourself or someone else. And think about the money that you would have given to me. Give it to a charity that will help animals, the environment, or people. Thank you so much for watching. You are totally awesome. And as always, blessed be.